Brace the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an Enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. Start converting your B2B audience today. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started today at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
If your roof starts to leak or your floors really squeak, you live in a money pit. Money pit.
If your basement needs a pump or your place looks like a dump, you live in a money pit. Money pit. Pick up the telephone.
Fix up your home sweet home by calling 888-MONEY-PIT.
The Money Pit is presented by Quickcrete Fast Setting Concrete. Look for it in the red bag. Now here's Leslie Segretti.
Coast to coast and floorboards to shingles, this is the Money Pit. I'm Leslie Segretti, joined by the best co-host in the biz, Jim Kenzie.
Oh, shucks, Les.
That's you, my guy.
You've been well?
Yeah, everything is good. Lots going on. I have a couple of little projects I want to tackle. I have to, and I'm waiting for the humidity to really come down. Charlie sleeps on like a higher bed, and his room is plaster and the house is old. And I guess when he sleeps, he kind of kicks the wall a little bit, and a tiny crack became a bigger crack, became a hole, became a plaster nightmare. So don't laugh. There is cardboard taped over it so he doesn't make it larger than it is. But once the weather is kind of equalized here, I am going to start peeling away some of that plaster and fixing it. So there's that. And then I think I want to put new wallpaper up in the hallway and do a little painting and get everything all nicey.
Geez, I'm glad I asked.
Yeah, how about you? What do you got going on?
Oh, you name it. Mostly, outside stuff, trying to get ready for winter and look at all the things I wanted to tackle this summer and didn't. But
didn't, yeah.
I got some stuff done, but...
I mean, granted, that cardboard patch is probably going to stay on as well till Thanksgiving break, but I'm going to, in my mind, say, we'll get to it next week or the week after.
Really? Honest. We mean it.
But I will do it. It's just I got to find the time. So just like you guys, you got a lot to do and so much. So let us figure out ways to help you get those projects done. I mean, we've got a lot to talk about, so let's jump right in. I mean, the water's fine. It's probably 50 degrees this time of year, but let's do it anyway. Why not?
Polar bear plunge.
Why not?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Do you hate standing around waiting for your shower to heat up? Well, you're not alone, but there is a smart fix that not only delivers hot water instantly, it can also save you up to 17,000 gallons of water every year. So coming up, we'll share how hot water recirculation pumps work, what they cost, and the best DIY-friendly options to consider. It's an upgrade that you'll feel good about every single day. And are you thinking about adding a patio before fall sets in? Well, if you are in luck, because coming up, we'll walk you through how to build a poured concrete patio from scratch using Quickcrete's crack-resistant concrete and a few easy steps to prep, pour, and finish like a pro. Whether you're dreaming of a sleek modern slab or you want to add some decorative flair, this is a weekend project that will deliver major impact. So we've got some info on a backyard transformation coming up. And if you're looking for a flooring option that's stylish, affordable, and durable, and waterproof, then composite flooring might just be your new favorite upgrade. We're going to share why this next-gen material is popping up in bathrooms, basements, kitchens, and more, plus what to know before you install it. Whether you've got pets, kids, or just a lot of foot traffic, this floor is built to handle it all and still look gorgeous doing it. So we've got a very busy hour, so let's get right into that cool water. Jim, who's up first?
Well, what if my pets are my kids, Leslie?
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, all right, Leslie. We've got Nancy on the line here from Illinois, and she's trying to build a deck but has some issues she's fighting against. What's going on there, Nancy?
We want to build a deck at the back of our house, but we have massive tree root, and we've cut down the tree that caused the problem, but we're having trouble getting rid of they're so thick that we can't figure out a way to get a deck over them.
Yeah, Nancy, I'm sorry to say, but you have to have room for that foundation. Before you start hacking away at that giant root, you may be able to design that deck in such a way that requires you to have fewer supports, or you're able to sort of drop a post somewhere else that will support it. I mean, some of the ways you could do that is building like a pier, which is like a concrete post in the ground.
Like those tubes you fill with concrete?
Yeah, sonotubes. You know, you can use those. It's like a coated on the inside, round, cardboard on the outside, and they come in a variety of diameters. I mean, some of them are enormous and some of them are teeny tiny, but that's basically a round concrete form to help you have a sturdy beam. And if you have a sturdy beam there, you might be able to get fewer points of contact so you don't have to battle the roots so badly. I mean, the other thing you could do is have a tree company come in and they can use a stump grinder to get rid of some sections of the roots there to allow you to accommodate the supports for the deck.
But if you got a big span like that, you'd want to go from 2x10 to 2x12, no?
Yeah, I would think so. So it depends here really where these roots are and how truly it's interfering with the construction process and what are other ways to go around that. You may even, it seems like you might be doing this yourself here. You might want to hire in a pro just to draw plans to be like, okay, you can get away with posts here, here, and here for the same structural support. It's not an easy solution. And especially if the tree is big and you don't want to damage the root system in a way that could sort of make the tree's structural stability, unreliable. There's a lot of different things there.
Good luck with that project, Nancy, and send us some pictures of your deck when it's completed. That sounds pretty cool.
At Sierra, discover great deals on top brand workout gear, like high-quality walking shoes, which might lead to another discovery.
40,000 steps, baby. Who's on top now, Karen?
You've taken the office step challenge a step too far. Don't worry, though. Sierra also has yoga gear. It might be a good place to find your zen. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
All right, somebody right up my alley, Leslie. We've got Colin, who's security conscious, on the line, and he's got a very interesting question. What's going on, Colin?
Well, I'm building a house, and I've made a cinder block room, out of 8-inch block. And it's like a 6x9 room, and I want to put a vault door on it. So it's kind of like a oversized gun closet. It's also gonna pair as a safe room.
All right, so you're really looking for a super secure door for this new room that you've built, right?
That's correct. I've looked at vault doors on there, and that you can buy one for $1,700, or you can spend $10,000.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, the prices are definitely all over the map. I mean, the other thing that you could do is repurpose a door from an old safe, and you could do this as a DIY project, or if you don't feel like you have that level of security or that you don't need that level of security, I mean, you've got an 8-inch block wall and you've got a vault door on it. If I want to break into that room, I'm taking a sledgehammer to that block wall, to heck with the door. Personally, I don't think I could break into either of those things, but someone could. So, I mean, I get that you want the software to go through the concrete block, but if you want something that's affordable and will give you a better level of security than a traditional wood door would, you could use a heavy-duty commercial steel door that has a steel frame and a heavy steel door, and it kind of backs up with deadbolts, and then you could put multiple deadbolts on that.
I've thought about that, too.
All right. Well, you've definitely made it impossible for me to break in all the way. Jim probably might be able to. He's very strong.
I don't even know how I would get a bank vault door down where I put it.
I'm like, in my mind, I think about heist movies, and I'm like, some sort of little explosive device? I don't know. Gum and a hairpin?
Yeah, MacGyver, yeah. Hey, Colin, one thing you can do if you do go with the cinder block.
Jim's the gun guy here.
This isn't even gun. This is construction guy, but yes, I am.
Safety, construction, all the stuff.
If you use an 8-inch cinder block, they've got, the holes on each side. Try putting rebar in between them so you can still stagger them up so your seams are proper. But try putting rebar in there and then filling them with concrete. So now instead of having an 8-inch cinder block, you've got 8-inch solid block, more or less. And the rebar strengthens the whole wall. So if somebody does knock out a couple blocks, they still got to fight the rebar to try to get in.
Yeah, and I'm going to say, don't forget about proper ventilation and, maybe video security so you can see what's going on outside.
And it never hurts to have good homeowners insurance and or a good watchdog I go that route. That always helps.
Yeah, I feel like there's a whole bunch of stuff we have to think about, but I don't know. I live in my naive New York land, so good luck with that, all right? Thanks so much for calling us at 888-MONEY-PIT.
Thank you.
Hey, you want to make our day? Well, go ahead and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, and we'll be jumping for joy. Plus, you guys, your feedback helps us make the show even better for you. Just go to moneypit.com/review. Did you know that September is National Recycling Month? When was the last time you guys opened that junk drawer full of old phones, dead batteries, and random cords? Well, instead of tossing them in the trash, recycle them properly. Electronics and batteries contain materials that can be hazardous if they end up in landfills, but many retailers like Best Buy, Staples, even Home Depot offer recycling drop-offs for those small electronics and those rechargeable batteries. Now, you can also check with your local municipality for e-waste collection events. It's a simple way to declutter and protect the planet. All right, Jim, let's get back to it. Who's next?
Hi, Catherine. You've got the Money Pit. How can we help you today?
I have lighting in the basement, and it is something we started initially, and we changed our mind. And so there are outlets or holes that are intended for light fixtures and then also a ceiling fan. And we're changing how we're going to do things down there. Is there some way that we can patch it up and start all over, or do we need to have an electrician in and resurface everything and do everything all over again?
All right, so your main issue here is that you came up with a design plan for your lighting, and now you're like, oh, we don't like that.
Yes.
Right? You just want to kind of patch what's there. Yeah, you could totally patch what's there.
The wires are already there.
Oh, wait, they're already wired. You really went into this project and then changed your mind. Got it. Well, if you have wires there, and if they're connected and live on the end that's in the room, and if they're sort of energized to the panel, then they have to be disconnected. You can't just seal them back up in the ceiling and hope for the best. I mean, you could just deal with it. You could get wire nuts and kind of just cover up the ends of the live wires and then cover that box. There's ceiling plates that you can use. But I wouldn't cover it with like drywall and pretend it doesn't exist anymore, because God forbid something happens, you can't access it. Those little ceiling plates, they're generally round and white and matte finish metal, and you just kind of screw them into the ceiling, and then you know where that hole is and you can access it at any time. And you know, they're just like a simple, delicate plate.
It's a decorative trim piece thing, kind of.
Yeah, and you could even paint them, right, Jim? The ceiling color, if the ceiling's not white, so it kind of will go away. But I would not leave that wiring there. If you do go the route of removing that wiring, or, you know, making sure it's completely dead before you seal it up, you can patch the ceiling with drywall. You would sort of make the hole slightly larger to accommodate a patch, because you want it to sort of span some studs. So you could be ending up with some large patched areas of the ceiling, and that's fine. But what you would want to do is get the new drywall up there and then go ahead and spackle the cracks, the edges, or the seams, if you will, and then, you know, sand that really well, do that a couple of times, and then paint it when you're done.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
But yeah, this is going to be a lot of work. And next time, think the lighting plan through, because you don't want to do it again. Or just suddenly decide that you love the lighting plan that you picked initially.
Hey, this one will work. I'll just pretend I like it.
I mean, why not? It's the basement. How often are you down there?
You got to do what you got to do.
All right, let's talk about a frustration that we've all had, you know, waiting for what feels like forever for your shower to get hot. Not only is it annoying, especially on colder mornings, but think of all that water that you're wasting while you wait. Now, this is where my boyfriend would go, well, you know, I always take a cold shower. Well, good for you, Mike. The rest of us like a hot shower, and there's that. So when you have, that's always his favorite little thing, like, I don't mind because, well, I take a cold shower. Well, great. But for all of us who want hot showers and are waiting, there's hot water recirculation pumps. And these are great because they're a small but mighty system, and they are designed to keep that hot water flowing when and where you need it, and can save you up to 17,000 gallons of water a year. Yeah, 17,000. So how do they work? Well, the basic idea is pretty clever. A recirculation pump takes water that hasn't quite heated up yet and sends it back through your plumbing instead of letting it just sit in the line or go down the drain. That means the hot water is always standing by and ready to go. Now, the upgrade is especially helpful if that bathroom or kitchen is far away from the water heater and it takes a while for that warm water to get to that tap. Now, not all systems are created equal, so let's kind of break this down. There's two main types of recirculation setups. There's a dedicated return line system, and these have a separate pipe that consistently circulates that hot water throughout the plumbing. And they work great in new builds where you can plan for that piping in advance. But a crossover system, and this is the one that most DIYers will love, it connects the hot and cold water lines at the furthest fixture in your house. So it's using that cold water line to return that unused hot water back to the water heater. And it's a simple retrofit. There's no major plumbing needed, and it is very budget friendly. And both can cut down on the water waste and the weight. But which one's best really depends on your home setup. Now let's talk numbers. A basic recirculation system can cost anywhere from $250 to $450 for a DIY install. That's a reasonable weekend project for a handy homeowner. And some kits will even come with everything you need. But here's a tip. These systems do work best with a timer or a motion sensor so that they're only running when you really need them. This way you're not using energy 24/7 just to keep those pipes warm. You're going to get all the comfort and the savings without the extra cost in your electric or your gas bill. So if you're sick of those cold showers and wasting water while you wait, this is one project that really delivers fast. All right, let's see who's next.
We're going to Robert in Texas with an air conditioning situation. What's going on there, Robert?
Yeah, I had something at my local home show this past weekend, and I went, and it's called Arctic Blast. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's installed in your air conditioning system, and it supposedly will reduce the efficiency of your air conditioner, drop it by about 21%. The local companies often do it. You just inject it into the Freon. It's installed that way. I'm just wondering if it's worth it to have an old system, and I'd like to increase the life of it, and if I can get 5 degrees more, that'd be a pretty good deal with the 21% decrease in the demand.
But how old is your system now?
It's about 15 years old.
Yeah, at 15 years, it's kind of at the end of its normal life cycle. And they're telling you there's a refrigerant that they're claiming is going to improve its efficiency?
Yeah, it's called Arctic Blast, and it offers an environmentally friendly process that greatly improves the efficiency of R22, R134.
And how much is this process going to cost you?
About $575.
Yeah, I don't know. About $600 is kind of a lot of money, and it's going to take you a long time to make that back. I kind of would be hesitant to do this. I think if the system is working and if it's properly tuned up, it's got the right level of refrigerant in it, then it's going to work well.
Until it stops working.
Yeah, changing the refrigerant, I don't think is going to make that big of a difference. So I wouldn't mess with it. I would just keep using it as is until it just doesn't spit out cold air anymore, and then it's time to replace it. And that's really just the best way to do it.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because I thought, well, if I can get a few more years out of it, rather than having to buy a whole unit.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe you can, maybe you can't, but putting that additive in there, I don't think it's going to make a hill of beans a difference.
Okay, well, that's the reason I come. I listen to y'all every week and on Saturdays, and I value your opinion, so I wanted to see what you had to say about it, and I really appreciate it.
Well, we really appreciate you too, Robert. Good luck with that project. Hope everything works out just fine.
Eczema isn't always obvious, but it's real. And so is the relief from Ebglyss. After an initial dosing phase, about 4 in 10 people taking Ebglyss achieved itch relief and clear or almost clear skin at 16 weeks. And most of those people maintain skin that's still more clear at 1 year with monthly dosing.
Ebglyss, lebrikizumab LBKZ, a 250 milligram per 2 milliliter injection, is a prescription medicine used to treat adults and children 12 years of age and older who weigh at least 88 pounds or 40 kilograms with moderate to severe eczema, also called atopic dermatitis, that is not well controlled with prescription therapies used on the skin or topicals, or who cannot use topical therapies. Ebglyss can be used with or without topical corticosteroids. Don't use if you're allergic to Ebglyss. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with Ebglyss. Before starting Ebglyss, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Searching for real relief? Ask your doctor about Ebglyss and visit ebglyss.lilly.com or call 1-800-LILY-RX or 1-800-545-5979.
When did making plans get this complicated? It's time to streamline with WhatsApp, the secure messaging app that brings the whole group together. Use polls to settle dinner plans. Send event invites and pin messages so no one forgets Mom's 60th. And never miss a meme or milestone. All protected with end-to-end encryption. It's time for WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone. Learn more at whatsapp.com.
Well, that fall chill is in the air, but before you light that first cozy fire of the season, let's take a few minutes to prep your fireplace for safe use. First, you want to schedule a professional chimney inspection and cleaning. Now, creosote buildup is a major fire hazard, so you want to check that the damper opens, closes, and seals properly, and inspect that firebox for cracks or loose bricks. Now, if you use wood, you want to make sure that you burn only seasoned hardwoods like oak or maple for cleaner, more efficient fires. And don't forget to test your smoke and carbon monoxide detectors nearby. Safety first, then snuggle up. All right, I give you guys permission to call while snuggling.
Aw.
Well, if you are looking for a weekend project that transforms your outdoor space and adds long-term value, a poured concrete patio might be just the thing. And thanks to Quickcrete's range of concrete mixes and easy-to-use products, it's more approachable than you might think, even for first-timers. So let's walk through the basics of building a durable, beautiful concrete patio. First up, you've got to plan your patio like a pro. So before you break ground, you need to decide on the shape, the size, and the location, and you can use a garden hose or a rope to kind of sketch out that layout, and then grab a mason string and stakes to kind of just square up that shape. You can use the 3-4-5 triangle method to make sure that your layout is perfectly square, and trust me, it makes the whole process smoother down the line. Now, next up, you want to look at the slope, because that slope of that property is going to set you up for success. You want that patio to drain properly, especially if it's near your home. That mason string and a line level will help you create a gentle slope of about 1/8 of an inch per foot to help shed that water away from the foundation. Next, you want to prep the site. So excavate the area and lay down a compactable gravel subbase about 4 inches thick, and that will help with drainage and give the concrete a strong foundation to sit on. And you want to make sure you compact that well, so really tamp it down. And if your patio is going to be right up against the home, you want to install a fiber board to act as the expansion joint there, so the stones and the siding or the foundation are not in contact with each other. Next, you're building the forms. So you're going to use 2x4 lumber to frame out that patio. So screw the boards into wood stakes, coat the inside of the form with vegetable oil or a commercial release agent, and mark where your control joints are going to go. And now comes the fun part. You want to use the Quickcrete crack-resistant concrete mix for a long-lasting finish, or step up your style with a decorative finish like exposed aggregate or acid stain. Now, once you pour it, you're going to screed that surface level, float it smooth, and finish it to your liking. Perhaps it's just a broom texture or a trowel polish, adding those joint controls to help prevent cracking, and finally seal it with Quickcrete acrylic cure and seal to protect that hard work and help it cure evenly. Before you know it, you're going to have a custom concrete patio ready for entertaining, grilling, relaxing under the stars, whatever you like to do, but this is definitely a DIY project. And remember, for more detailed instructions, the tools, and the calculators, you can visit Quickcrete.com. They've got everything you need to do it right the first time. Now that's a great project to add to your to-do list. Let's get back to the phones.
Heading out to Pennsylvania, Leslie, we have Amanda, and she's dealing with some floor squeaks. What's going on, Amanda?
We just got a house. It's about 100 years old, but it's in great condition. It has the original hardwood floors, which are in great condition as well, but some of them creak, especially the stairs. What can we do to fix some of the soft spots and some of the creaky areas? They have about the 1-inch pieces of board that run across without ruining the original hardwood.
Well, you have a very beautiful old home, and that's awesome. But when you end up with an older home, you get older wood floors, and they tend to squeak. I mean, you could chalk it up to charm. We all kind of do. There's the wonky step and the weird handrail and the creaky floor. And we go, oh, it's old world charm. But, you know, the squeaks can be annoying. I did the voice. I'm sorry, Jim.
I like
know
this.
I did the
It's like paid entertainment for me. This is great.
You could tell I entertained myself a lot. All right, Amanda. So I think what you should try to do is stop looking for the source of the squeaks, because it happens, it kind of moves around as the boards move and rub against each other, and that's what's making the squeaky sound. So what you have to do to kind of fix that is tighten the loose boards where you find them. But it's one of those things where it's like, oh, here it is, do it instantly, because you'll walk away and forget. And you end up like just kind of chasing this one spot. But if you fix all of the boards that are, you know, moving or seem loose or just not quite right, tighten those up, and you can definitely stop the squeaks. Eventually something else will start squeaking, but at least you're kind of getting it in check as you're finding it. And what you want to do is you want to find a very specialized type of screw. It's called a trim screw. It's not hard to find, but the reason you use a screw is because when you drive that screw in, it doesn't back out. And the way your floorboards have been put down a million years ago is that there was a very sort of basic nail that went in, and over time with all the movement, it starts to back itself loose. And then what happens is you get movement of that board. So if you put a trim screw in, you can drive it right down, and it's pretty much almost impossible to see when you're done. It's not like a hole you're going to have to fill. But tighten up the areas where you sense that squeak, or you're hearing that squeak, or you're feeling the movement, and that should do the trick. And you could do the same on stair treads, you know, a lot of stuff there. Don't expect your house to be like super quiet, but it'll definitely be improved, if that makes sense. All right, so put on your tool belt always and just walk around with your screw gun and those trim screws, and anytime you hear a squeak, boop, boop, take care of it. All right, Amanda, thanks so much for calling us at 888 Money Pit. Well, fall means more leaves, mud, and moisture getting tracked inside, so now's the perfect time to refresh your entry mats. You want to start by adding a heavy-duty mat outside to scrape off dirt and debris, and then pair it with a washable rug or a boot tray just inside the door that's going to catch anything that sneaks in. Not only does it help protect your floors, but it also is a quick way to update your front entryway with a bit of fall style. So think plaids, leaf patterns, or even a fun seasonal message like, boo, a witch lives here, go away, or something. I don't know, maybe something more friendly, whatever suits you, but that's the one I'm going to go with. Anyway, these are great ways to keep the house tidy. And quick tip, when you come home from a soccer game on a damp weekend, make sure to, you know, clack the cleats outside. To get rid of all of that yuck, because just the other day I was picking up some compact dirt by the front.
Yay.
So lots of ways you can keep the house clean, and go Panthers. That's Charlie's team.
There you go.
Disney Plus wants to know, are you ready? For Marvel Studios' Thunderbolts, The New Avengers, now streaming on Disney Plus.
Let's do this.
One of the best Marvel movies of all time is now streaming on Disney Plus.
Hey, you weren't listening to me.
I said Thunderbolts, The New Avengers is now streaming on Disney Plus.
Meet the New Avengers.
That's cool name. Marvel Studios' Thunderbolts, The New Avengers, rated PG-13, now streaming on, you guessed it, Disney Plus.
This episode is brought to you by FXX and Hulu. An all-new season of Futurama is back, blending heartfelt moments with razor-sharp humor while accidentally saving the day. The Planet Express crew is back, defying gravity and common sense. From the creator of The Simpsons comes 10 new episodes where the romance is hotter, the threats are bigger, and the action hits harder. Don't miss the all-new season of Futurama. Watch it Mondays on FXX or stream it on Hulu.
Well, if it's been a while since you looked at flooring options, get ready. Composite flooring has come a long way. Today's products are not only durable and water resistant, but they're also incredibly realistic, comfortable underfoot, and surprisingly budget friendly. And the best part is they're a perfect fit in every room of your home, from basements to bathrooms, kitchens, and kids' rooms. So let's break down why composite flooring is having a major moment. In short, composite flooring kind of combines several materials, typically a tough, high-performance core with a wear-resistant surface layer that mimics the look of hardwood, tile or stone. And some options also include a built-in underlayment for sound absorption and extra comfort. You're going to see it sold under names like SPC, which is stone polymer composite, or WPC for wood polymer composite, or more generally like a luxury vinyl plank, LVP, or engineered vinyl flooring, or EVP, engineered vinyl planks. And all of these are part of that composite flooring family, and each has its own strengths. Now, traditional floors, they're gorgeous. That beautiful natural wood is really great. But let's face it, moisture is their enemy. One leak in a laundry room or a steamy bathroom, and you could be in for warping, staining, or worse. But a composite floor solves that problem because most modern options are 100% waterproof or they are highly water resistant. And that means you can install it in bathrooms without worry, in kitchens where spills happen daily, even in basements where humidity levels change. Now, there's no special sealing or stress required. And another win, composite flooring is designed for DIY-friendly installation. Most are going to snap together with a locking system. So that means no glue, no nails, no big mess. And you can even float it over your existing floor in a lot of cases. And once it's installed, that composite flooring is just a breeze to maintain. You kind of just sweep it and mop it. There's no sanding, there's no refinishing, and many of today's products include a protective coating that will resist scratches from pets and from furniture and from foot traffic. So you're not stuck with those same old plank designs either. It's interesting because a composite floor, it can mimic that look of natural wood. It can give you wider planks. It can be in a matte finish that kind of looks more high-end. There's stone and tile styles to give you a spa vibe without your cold toes, and a rainbow of color tones from classic oak to weathered gray, even to a dramatic black tone. So whether you want your farmhouse warmth, modern minimalism, or a cozy cottage feel, there is a look to match your home. And if you're looking for a flooring upgrade this fall, composite flooring is definitely worth serious consideration. It's affordable, beautiful, easy to install, and built to stand up to whatever your household can dish out. Muddy boots, pet paws, water spills, you name it. And unlike some trendy materials that look dated after years, today's composites are timeless, and they are built to last for decades, so it's definitely worth checking out. All right, let's get back to our callers. Who's up next?
Okay, we've got Sandy now who has a problem I'm sure many of us have come across before. And Leslie, I really like your answer to this. I've used it in the past, and I'm going to not steal your thunder. So here we have Sandy. Sandy, tell us what's going on with your carpet.
Well, I had a Scentsy, one of those little things that uses hot wax, and my granddaughter knocked the Scentsy over onto the carpet, and part of it splashed upon my Henry-Don chair, which is upholstered.
Ruh-roh.
Haven't done anything yet because I don't know really how to go about cleaning that.
Well, the first thing you want to do, and it's kind of an easy fix, you just have to make sure you haven't already scratched at it or rubbed it or anything. Take a brown paper bag and an iron, and you want to put the iron on a high setting without steam, and put the paper bag over the wax and then iron, and the wax will melt but then stick to the paper bag, and you'll be able to peel it right off.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, brown paper bag with a hot iron, not on steam.
No steam.
Just hot cotton, and hold it on there for a few minutes, and it will pull it out.
Yeah, you don't want to sit it on there too long because you don't want to burn it through. Okay. So you want to kind of just, hold the brown paper bag, then put the iron on top, and then shift it around, moving to a clean part on the bag as you get more of the wax onto the bag. This way you're not re-spreading the wax.
That sounds wonderful. Thank you so much.
Time now to answer some of your emails. Who wrote in this week, Jim?
Well, a different Jim wrote in, and he says...
Oh, no way. This is you.
There's more than one Jim, believe it or not, Leslie.
No, they wrote James. So
okay, well,
I think this is your alter ego.
Or I'm in trouble from my mom. Could be that. It's the only time I hear that. I recently had a new door on my crawl space, he says, installed from the outside. The door sits in bricks and on cinder blocks, and the framing of the house is along the top of it. Does this type of door need to be weatherproof like other exterior doors or windows?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of think I know the door you're talking about. It's basically like a very small exterior door, like
a Bilko door? Is that what he's thinking?
I kind of am getting a sense of that. Now, usually it has a top that's aligned with the bottom and then sort of framed where the siding overlaps. And in this case, you definitely need to have at least a drip edge covering the top of that door, because you have to remember your door is wood, or even if that door is metal, it could rust. You can't have water going down the siding and getting underneath that. So you definitely have to have that drip edge flashing on the top of that. Now, in terms of size and depending on how tight it is to the block wall, I would at least caulk that area with silicone, the sides of the door jamb into the block wall. So again, you're avoiding water getting in there. So treat this the same basically as you would any exterior window or door. I mean, just because it's for a crawl space doesn't mean that you should be taking any shortcuts to it. And lastly, don't forget that now is the time to get a good solid coat of exterior paint on that, because typically when they come out of the factory, they're just primed. I mean, they're not unfinished, but they're not fully finished. You do need to add those top coats to it to make sure that this all lasts a long time, because you're seeing all of these little steps take time. They're all adding up to projects to make sure that everything is fully finished. If water gets in there, I know it's to a crawl space, but you could be messing with the foundation. You could be messing with the siding. You could be getting moisture behind the bricks, causing mold. There's a lot of different things that could happen. So take the time to finish everything properly, because just because this isn't inside the house or in a very visible area doesn't mean it should have any less attention paid to it. All right, James, or Jim, who's here on the phone with me in the radio.
Works for me, yeah.
Well, Jim, ask your alter ego, James, if this is a good answer for him. All right, all the Jims and Jameses in the world.
We're good. Yeah, we're good.
All right, thanks so much for writing in.
Is your plan of recycling at home become a hassle? Well, in today's edition of Leslie's Last Word, Leslie has some super easy tips to streamline your setup. Take it away, Leslie.
Well, if your recycling system at home feels more like a hassle than a habit, it could be time for a little reset. Now, the trick here to successful recycling isn't just knowing what to recycle. It's making it easy to do it. So you want to start by placing clearly labeled bins where the waste actually happens. It could be a small bin next to your kitchen trash for rinsed cans and bottles, a paper-only bin by your home office or printer, or even a designated box in the garage for those cardboard items and the packing materials. If you keep those bins where you use them most, it takes away the excuse to kind of just toss everything into the trash because it's convenient. And don't forget to keep a printed or a posted guide nearby with what your town accepts, because pizza boxes and plastic bags, they usually are not on the list. Now, the easier you make it to recycle, the more likely everyone in your household is to pitch in, because a greener home doesn't happen by accident. It starts with simple, smart systems. And that is our September recycling home tip. So get in the habit, you guys. It's easier than you think. You just need a few days to develop a new routine. All right, we have had a busy hour with you guys, so thank you so much for joining us. Next week, we're going to jump into a big old pile of leaves with fall outdoor tips, so don't miss it. Thanks again, and remember, you guys, you can do it yourself, but you don't have to do it alone. See you next time.
On the Money Pit Radio Show. On the Money Pit Radio Show. Pick up the telephone, fix up your home sweet home by calling 888-MONEY-PIT.
Doug. Limu and I always tell you to customize your car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. But now, we want you to feel it. Cue the emu music, Limu.
Save yourself money today. Increase your wealth. Customize and save, we say.
That may have been too much feeling.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
For a limited time at McDonald's, get a Big Mac extra value meal for $8. That means 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, and medium fries, and a drink. We may need to change that jingle.
Prices and participation may vary.